Welcome back to Weekend Movie Bro. I'm Jacob. It's Ray. Idiot. Actually, it's idiot. Fuck Ray. Fuck whoever that bitch is. It's idiot. Who are
And that's
you?
Magic Mike.
Ooh, this.
Yeah, that's Magic Mike.
Hi, I'm just coming here to let you guys know that this is a pulled segment from our podcast. Whatever the image above is what the podcast, whichever podcast it is from, it's also going to be linked in case you guys want to watch the entire podcast. We normally do about 2 reviews per podcast. There are chapter times in it in case you want to jump around and just go to different sections or anything. Either way, not really that important. It's coming from that podcast. These are unedited, so any of our direct thoughts and opinions, I don't go back through, I don't edit them, I just post them like I would post a podcast, which does include some of the like ums or like random pauses or anything that I would normally take out in a normal video. They're also a part of it. I just want to give you guys a heads up for that. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into whatever you're watching.
Talk about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. This is going to be a non-spoiler review. All these reviews, except for TV shows and stuff, which we'll get to a little bit later, will be non-spoilery because I've only seen it. So it's not fair for me to sit here and spoil the entire movie for someone who does want to see it, i.e. Zachary. That's who wants to see this. Yeah. So let's talk about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. It truly is
Although when you told me that the flying horse jumped over the train, I was like, that's nuts.
Not this movie. I'm sure it is a movie. My brain's too tired. I want to go find the movie.
Jumanji.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, that was nice. That was a brain little moment. Okay, back to Mission Impossible, which does have trains, so it's relevant to the story.
That's why I said what I said.
I know. I'm just explaining it in case someone didn't know. So Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is number 7 or 8. Which one is it?
7.
Okay, it's number 7 in a long-running series, which is the reason why a lot of people don't think it did particularly well at the box office. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, though, in the second podcast. I don't think it's in this one yet. And so with Mission Impossible, this one picks up relatively soon after the last one ends. And I didn't like the opening, in my personal opinion. I felt like the first, I want to say 20 minutes felt undone. It felt like it was not a completed project, that it still needed probably about another like 3 or 4 rounds of editing, and that goes into sound and a whole bunch of other stuff, in my personal opinion. Also, the opening does not feel like a Mission Impossible movie personally to me whatsoever. That could be that I rewatched all the Mission Impossible movies before going to go see this one, because I do enjoy the Mission Impossible movies. I didn't watch the first 2. That was a lie. I watched 3 through 6. But, I watched the good ones. You do need to technically watch the first one. It is a very big tie-in to this one. I will put that out there for anybody who does not know. I'm not going to explain why. The villain was kind of a shocker, so I'm not going to say that. They do give it away within the first 2 minutes of the movie, but it's more fun for that to be revealed. My big takeaway outside of the amazing third act, which I truly did love, and Haley Atwell is truly a breath to this series that was needed. She has such great comedic timing. It's like, did not know that one was funny. Honestly, I've never been a big fan of Haley Atwell because of the character that she plays, not so much the actress. I never liked What is her name? Can you say it for me?
Peggy.
Thank you. Carter. I've never liked her.
Petty Carter.
That's what she was. Nothing but petty. All the way to her dying.
No. Let's be real here. Jacob doesn't like Peggy Carter because she got in the way of Bucky. That's why he didn't like Peggy.
Truly. Honestly. Yeah, that's it. Nope, no other answer. Either way, I think she's phenomenal. I think this is the best I've ever seen her, and I've seen her in a few other things as well outside the MCU. But I truly think this is where she is the most shining. She is game for everything that's put in front of her, and she handles the emotional scenes as well as all the action scenes, and she's in quite a bit of the action in this movie. Wherever Tom Cruise goes, she basically goes, which is really fun, and it makes it for a fun movie. There's 2 sequences out. There's the train sequence, and then there's the Rome sequence. That's all I'll say about those 2 that are particularly well done, and why I would recommend this movie to a casual viewer, because you don't technically need to have seen Mission Impossible, the other ones, Honestly, there's one particular choice in this movie that if you've never seen a Mission Impossible movie, you wouldn't be mad about. Which is why it makes it hard for me to recommend this movie, because there is a story choice that they decided to go with that truly it has irked me, and I can't figure out where I stand. I can't rate this movie. I don't know how, because the ending is so good. It's one of the best train sequences I've ever seen in my life. It's Uncharted. Ironically, The Lost City. It's Uncharted level. This is what I wanted Nathan Drake to be in. And so it makes me mad because they did the thing that I thought they're not going to do, and then they fucking did it, and that's all I'll say without spoiling anything.
Needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, it didn't fade to black.
It did not. No, it never once faded to black. It does have that going for it. Also, my expectations for this movie was way high. I would say if you're going into it and you love Mission Impossible, I would lower those expectations, in my opinion. It's just not as strong as some of the other entries in the franchise. I would say it's probably more back with Ghost Protocol and Ghost Protocol and Mission Impossible 3 is probably where I would rank it. Not sitting up with Rogue Nation and Fallout if I had to rank.
Some people would flip with you because some people prefer 3 and 4 over 5 and 6.
Well, if you're that way, then I would say it's not like 5 and 6 if you like 3 and 4. I personally think 5 and 6 are superior than 3 and 4. I love 3. 4 is just okay for me, in my personal opinion. Really?
Still want to go back and watch the most.
I think you need to go revisit Rogue Nation. That's where I'm at on that. Or Fallout. Fallout is still one of the best action movies I think I've ever seen in my life. So, it has that going for it. It's just... There was a murder in that movie that should never have happened. It was criminal. I think we all can agree. Characters should not have been killed off. They were too good.
Instead, he flew off and got his mustache de-CGI'd.
I'm hoping for an evil twin. That's where I'm going. I'm hoping. And honestly, where this movie goes, I think an evil twin is just right around the corner. And I'd be accepting of it.
So do you think it'd be possible to see an evil version of Tom Cruise?
No, not that evil twin.
It's funny though.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because there's a whole thing. Oh, also, I do want to address that Kalifia or I can't say her last name. Thank you. Cannot say her last name to save my life, especially tired Jacob. Cannot say it. Is playing a ripoff of Harley Quinn through and through. That is what her character is. But I think by the third act, I ended up really liking it, even though it truly is like a ripoff of that character. But I felt like she brought a lot of heart to the role. In a way that you'll see when you watch the movie. She did not connect with me the entire time, and her one big action sequence in the movie, I did not particularly enjoy either. But seeing her as a true villain, though, was a very interesting experience after just seeing her as Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, because there are polar opposite characters. In her defense, she did play it very well in that regard. It just was a.
Would you want to see her attempt this again?
Yes, I would love to see her in a different role attempting the crazy maniacness that is this role. And also, I would say, because she is playing like a ripoff of Harley Quinn, this is the most Harley Quinn I've ever seen in a live action, like being as crazy. Because I wouldn't say that Harley Quinn in live action, in my opinion, in the ones that we've seen so far, they haven't truly been as crazy, which is why I'm excited for Lady Gaga. I think that one's going to be as crazy as I'm hoping, as chaotic. Insane, one would say. She's not truly insane, but you understand if you're familiar with the character and things. But anyway, that's Mission Impossible. I'm not rating it. Sue me. I don't care. My personal opinion, I don't know. I can't figure it out. Train sequence is so good, but I have major issues with the story. So it's all over the place. I think like a 7. Like if I had to put a definitive rating,
you don't have to if you don't want to.
My brain is saying 7 for people out there who want one. It could change tomorrow, though. To be fair, it could be a 9 tomorrow. So that's why.